Alright everybody, welcome to a brand new video. In this video, it is the first ever director's look into, obviously, the show. So this is season 2, episodes 1's director's cut. So this is a look from me, Easter eggs, as well as some thoughts I had while I was maybe writing this or while I was filming it. So yeah, so first off, I want to start off with saying this wasn't the original episode 1. Episode 1 was actually I had a completely different script for it, a completely different way this would go. Midway through, or not midway through, but almost when I was about to start filming, I had lost it. I don't know how, but I just did. So, this is the version 2, right? And obviously I'm, happy with it. Obviously else I wouldn't have posted it. So, first off, obviously you'll see it right here, but I may look back and forth. So first off, the spider people here, so all those 4, they were supposed to be for a Spider-Verse later down the line. It's not happening anymore, so they're just kind of here. So yeah, Miles will definitely be back in the future, but that's all I'll say for now. But the idea I got for the portal, because obviously it's different than the movie, which is obviously where I mostly know Zhav is from. I don't know about the comics, I haven't read anything with her in it, but I sort of got it from the back of her jacket, so you can see the white in the middle, and then I swapped it with the blue on the outside, and then the red on the outside. So the blue's on the inside, the red's on the outside. So I'll always have it there, and I swear I have it connect to her, sort of like a it's coming from her, obviously, which it is. And now Ghost Spider, he was actually sort of I don't really know. He was sort of something that is sort of an original. I don't really know where he's from, but he's sort of an original. The name's not original. But just for this, he is a Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, obviously. So, yeah. So move on from that, and so obviously we have Jean here. The idea for the Cerebro was to sort of have a blue, I guess technical thing. I really don't know. So that's what that blue is. It's just a sort of like a TV almost. I don't know. And the gray is obviously the machine connected to her into the ceiling. So something I did was, if you have the Jean from X-Men 97, she has 2 heads. She has the long hair, and then she has the ponytail. I love the long hair. And so what I did here was the Cerebro doesn't fit on her with the long hair, so I just put the other head with the ponytail on, and it would obviously work. And then her hands are obviously her using her powers. I think that's pretty obvious. And then the different universes I have in there, there will be something that continues, just because I always like to see where I'm at, right? Anyway, so again, we see the portal here, same thing. Now that white, you will see more later on in the season, but I wanted to have sort of a way that you guys could tell when it was her sort of having these cuts, because with telekinesis in, sorry, I thought something was happening. So with telekinesis in shows, you kind of see these white flashes, and so that's essentially what that is, right? So just her seeing, what am I doing? Okay, so just her seeing these through. Obviously, she's seeing everything. And in the back, you can obviously you'll hear Scott and Spider-Man talking, obviously. Um, and they're just kind of rambling. I wanted to have something that would not take away from it, but you could hear something that it would keep you interested. And it was just basically Scott talking about, or Cyclops talking about, his relationship with Jean, and then the relationship that Travis and Spider-Man will have as this goes on. So obviously right here, I wanted to take away the blue, and so I just took away the blue, and then I kept the gray, sort of to see that it's connected. And another detail I made was Cyclops. Every time you see Cyclops, whether he is in the background or in front, his eyes are always glowing, because they always were glowing in the show, in '97, or in the original animated series in '97, and in the movies. Well, maybe not the movies, I can't remember, but he was always glowing in the animated series. And something I wanted for this was I wanted the X-Men, the Avengers, to all get along, because I know that they have things. I wanted them to all get along, take a new look at them. So, everybody's cool with everyone is a fan, right? And then Fantastic Four is just them. So that's something that I wanted to do. And something you can obviously see a lot of the time is those little two sparks that are always like that. I wanted something that looked cartoony, but it also looked good. And so I think that it gives not only, it sort of life, but it also gives it detail that looks really good. And that's something that I did. And then, just I wanted to make sure that while every single thing might have been, because I have a lot of shots where it's just one single take and it's just a lot of look, I wanted to make sure that it was sort of, everything was moving so that you could feel it, but it was everything still good. I don't know if that makes sense. Like you were able to watch it, right? Like it wasn't moving so much that you can concentrate. Now what I did here, which I kind of wish I would have done better, was an outline, almost like she's starting up her portals. And I should have added a star there, but it didn't. And yeah, that's on me. So this I wanted to have was this wasteland area. Obviously, you guys know it if you've watched it. It's Celestial Plane. I want it to be completely wasteland. Originally in season 2 that I drafted up months ago was going to be this was just going to be an abandoned universe that had died over time, and Icarus would have taken over that, but I decided to make the Celestial Plane, just that he have a connection, because it's kind of weird that he would just take over something, right? So basically, you will see this obviously later on, but it's basically just completely covered, and then the only thing you can see is a sort of dusted, character. So something I did there was I kind of had it, like slowly pull through. For like the portal, and something you'll see here with Cyclops is his eyes aren't glowing, right? But that's because you can barely see him. It's basically as if this is all you could see. So that's sort of what I did here, and that's the only time he will not glow. Now I had to figure out a sort of cut for this so that it would look good, because in these excuse me, I use slide, or I think it's slide, I can't remember, but I wanted to have something that would look like a show cut. So every single cut it essentially treats it as if it's an ad break. So like there would be an ad here, here, here. It's like every cut, because you know every show on Disney Channel or whatever would have those little moments where it's like clearly ads. So we'll just go with that. Now the intro, which I wanted to show the three mains of the teams. So Cap, Cyclops, Mr. Fantastic. But I wanted to be sort of a silhouette, and so maybe in the next thing we do, we're gonna make it a little better so it looks more shadowy, looks more silhouette like, and then obviously it can just be under that. So I originally just wanted to have a you know, sort of that black silhouette thing to be the I can't think, to be the opening credits or the title card. I was gonna have it right after that, but I decided that I was gonna have Deadpool do it because it would just be funny. It allows me to have creative freedom and just be whatever. So like even for this, you know, it's just dramatic. It's pointless, right? He's making this a big deal, and me when I excuse me when I come in with my hands, right? That is completely, you know, it's just breaking with wall, which is something I could do, but still make it obviously good and talk through text, right? And this scene originally was supposed to have a different person. Obviously, you guys saw that short, most likely. Yeah, I had to use him as you will see him at Murdoch Head because I somehow lost my other one. I have no clue how. So I just put on the Norman Osborn head and went ahead with it, but it's not Norman Osborn. Keep that in mind. It's a very long sleeve. I probably should have cut right here. Now okay, so that little I wanted that to be a sort of nod to like just obviously a news cut, obviously. So yeah. Now originally it was gonna have Matt say two names, not just Taskmaster Trials. It originally have another name, which excuse me, I believe is actually on the script. Is the other name. You will understand in September why I removed one of this, and then I'll reveal whose name it was. So, now that scene, I originally had it where Psycho Spider would talk, but I wanted to have somewhat more of a reveal, so I just had someone else talk who I can't reveal just yet. I think this week's episode, I think tomorrow's episode, you'll know. Then I'll tell you on Thursday. Alright, so we go through this, obviously, it's black. I did this months ago. I don't even remember filming this. Like, I had to look back and remember if I did it or not. Because it has been so long since I did this. It was like one of the first things I did. So, with first off, Storm and Nightcrawler, right? I wanted to have them to have a relationship, not a romantic one, but sort of this friends, like these best friends, right? Because I really loved what they did in X2 with them, and I know that they were trying to build like a relationship. Like, I think if we toned it down a little bit, it would be great. So, you know, and then obviously he's just moving a lot, and I really wish I would have watched X-Men 97 before I had filmed this because I would have had Bamfing so much because he does it so much. So I took the energetic and sort of just kind of made him move a lot. So like yeah, he's moving a lot and he's just going away, right? So I was originally gonna have in this scene where Storm asked about Sue and Spite. I was originally gonna have it to where they would have had a moment where Peter would have been talking to Travis and Sue would have been talking to Thing. But I cut it because I thought that it wouldn't be good. I thought it would just be filler. So I did cut that. Now this scene, this went through multiple takes. I think we had 5 or 6 takes, and they were all different. They were not the same. But this one, I just kind of did. I thought it would be good, and obviously I think it's good, so that's why it's here. I didn't retake it. But it was sort of a last minute where, because this was like second to last. No, this was the second. No, this was the third scene that was almost the third last, the last to third. I don't know how to word this. And it was sort of a moment where I had 1 week to get all of this done, and I was just kind of like, I wish I could do it better, but it's the best I've done, so I'm gonna keep it. So that's what I did, and I kept it. And so this Sue and Doom, it was originally gonna have a moment where it would be revealed that Sue and Doom have been going on these like, where Sue would come to Latveria once a month and just have these lunches sort of get over their grief. And he was gonna say like, I just want you to know that, I don't mean anything by these. I'm not trying to steal your heart or anything. And I wonder if it's not close to me. Dang it! I would have. I think it might even be in the script too, because I changed it as I was recording it. So there it is, right? And this right here, this was obviously changed from the trailer. The trailer was footage that I knew would be. It was basically concept. The trailer was basically concept footage. Some things are yes gonna be the same, but some things are not gonna be the same. And this scene was a lot different. So I had more here, and it just felt better to have a lot more here, sort of to show that they were just coming home, right? And so something that I did hide in the trailer was the gauntlet. The gauntlet that Adam has, I hid that because I put another hand he has over it because I didn't want that to be revealed, right? But it's a big plot moment, right? And so, we have this moment, and yeah, so they have this moment here. They're all talking. This right here, right? So Icarus is obviously different. He's blue and he's yellow, and he has the red more prominent. He's not the. Ooh, I know he's close to me. I know he's close to me. Hold on. So we see, right, he is completely, purpled here, right? And so something that I did was I thought of this idea, but I was like, wait, I can't go ahead and paint him and then come back and do this. So this was actually the first scene I ever did, was this. So, I had this moment, and then you can briefly see if I can pause on the right moment. Excuse me. You can briefly see Bison, And so what I did was I went to that pile of sticks, right? And I just put him there in sort of a, like, hitting his back moment. So Chavez is not in this, right? It is fully just CG VFX, right? So that blue dot is supposed to be her, right? That was it. That was it. And so you will see soon that this wasn't actually what happened. This is not what happened. Chavez is not bringing him here and then just go and hit him and then kill him, right? So you will see in September why that is. But obviously, it's a big explosion, and you can briefly see at one point, which is not going to show because I keep pausing, but you can briefly see that there is I forget what color it was. It might have been yellow, it might have been blue. I'm not sure. Where Adam is basically protecting himself from the blast with the gun, but Icarus is completely gone. This I filmed the next day when, after I had painted him, right? So that purple there, that was supposed to be like a burn, sort of like it was coming down, and so that's why it just kind of vanishes slowly. I really wish I had done that better. I think I messed it up a little bit, so I do regret that. But this I really enjoyed because it looks like it is coming to him, like he's using it to come to him. So that was nice. And then obviously you see those two little dots, like boom and boom, just to see that he's blinked. And then obviously the spider reveal and Sue pushing back. And yeah, so that's it. That was a director's cut from the director, obviously. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. And episodes 2 will be Thursdays, and then episode 3s will be Friday. So yeah, and then obviously episode 3 will drop Wednesday. So yeah, peace, bye, love you, cheers, and money. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.